Time for my usual, most controversial category, usually. It's either this one or modern tractors. This is runabouts. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with one thing that is a bit different than normal. This Silverado was... Oop, I'm stuck on something. I have no idea what. The Silverado was, from the get-go, mentioned as a beta. And I reviewed it as a beta. Therefore, it gets an award of NA. It doesn't get an award, one way or the other. It was purely beta. It was interesting to look at. Some people wanted to see a Chevy. I found the one Chevy I could. It was beta. I have not seen a new version of this truck. I'd like to. Hopefully the mod author has improved some things. But I'm not going to give it an award one way or the other because it's unfair to that truck. And to the mod author. Alright. We had the F350s. The Ford F350 pack. Episode 3. In episode 11, we had the Polaris 6x6 quad, which doesn't make any sense because a quad is 4 and 6x6 is not 4, but whatever. We had the Ford Transit. We had the Silverado. We had the Icarus 280. Nice bus. And we had the Renault Kangoo. It was all episode 11. Episode 26, we had the 65 Ford Mustang. Episode, I can't remember what, but relatively recently, we had the Dodge... what is this thing? The 5500 and the B-Mac. Okay. Now, there are other vehicles that seem to be runabout-ish, but the difference being they actually have more functional load. So, there's a Kenworth flatbed, for instance. A little bit different, and it's actually going in a different category because its bed is bigger than any of these other truck beds. And it's more designed for hauling stuff rather than these ones, which are, you know, basically fifth wheel trucks. Except for that one. All right. So other than the NA truck, what do we have? Well, we have a dishonorable for the Ford Transit. It was, well, unfortunately, it's clipped into the ground to begin with. And it was terrible and horrid. And the Kangoo was no better. It was terrible and horrid also, so it also is going to get a dishonorable. Blech. Don't like either of those two. Now, usually having a bus on your farm is a silly thing, but this bus is silly in the best possible way. One, it's multiplayer capable. Two, you can do all the things. I got in the wrong vehicle. You can do all the things. Why am I getting in this vehicle? Dadgummit. You... Let me in. There we go. Just takes a minute for me to get in the right spot. All right. So there we go. Now we're inside. We can open our doors. I think I have to start the truck. Bus. So when you want to play Bus Simulator aboard your bus and farm sim, you can do so. And because it's multiplayer compatible, you can haul your friends around and deliver them to wherever they need to go. Everybody get on. We're going to go to the farm and pick the goods. Okay, good. Let's go. Additionally, it has a hitch on the back, which means you can, if you want, hitch some trailers to the back of it. And it's just a fun little bus. It operates relatively properly for a bus. Except for I'm stuck on things. I think I'm stuck on that Silverado. There we go. So it works as a bus. It's kind of silly, but it's kind of fun too. Alright, so we're going to give that one an honorable mention because it's got a lot of fun things in it. So we like that one. Oh god, this thing is dishonorable all around. Ugh, yuck, gross, ew. This one gets a mention. I mean, it's functional, but it's got no interior. No interior! None whatsoever. So, I mean, it functions. It's just not great. So I'll mention it. Actually, you know what? I won't. Dishonorable. There. Put an interior in there. Mustang. Mustang Sally. You know, it's a nice enough little vehicle. They're always silly on the farm when people drive crazy vehicles. The guy looks like a douche when he gets inside. I just gotta say it. I mean, I don't usually say things like that, but he just looks like a tool as soon as he gets in there. The vehicle is super fast, runs through fuel like you wouldn't believe, but, you know, it's not terrible. It does clip through the... I mean, you slammed it so much that it's got things going through the fender. You can look under the ground, but, yeah. We'll give it a... I can give it an honorable, but no, I won't. I'm just going to mention it. Blech. The Polaris Quad gets honorable. Now, why, you might say? Why are you going to give that thing honorable? Well, one, you can carry some goods. There's some fertilizer. Maybe it's spray. Maybe it's seed. I can't read it. And then there's something else. That's great. You got some little rear lights. And you can open the little door on the back. And it's got a 3-point hitch on the back. So you can play with the 3 points as well. It will actually hook up to a PTO as well. So it's a good all-around little toy. It's a fun little piece of kit. And it will do things that you kind of need in a runabout. It's just going to run out there and deliver the goods. Good. That's what you need. Was there any doubt who's going to take the award here? Seriously, these 350s are gorgeous in so many ways. You clip on the mirrors. They work. This one carries fuel on board. The interior is pretty darn nice. You can't open doors and windows, but you don't really need to. They just work well. They do go a little bit fast. Just a bit. I think if they're slowed down a little bit, it'd be a little bit better. But they're two good trucks. They work really well. They deserve the award. I mean, plain and simple. So, an award for the Ford F-350s. Honorable mention for the Polaris 6x6 as well as the Icarus 280 because it's just cute. Dishonorable for the Dodge because it has no interior. Dishonorable for the B-Mac because, actually, you know what? Trash for the B-Mac. Just trash. Dishonorable for the Transit. Dishonorable for the Kangoo. A mention for the Mustang. And no award for the Beta Silverado because it was Beta. All right, well, there you go. There's the runabouts. I'm sure you all have plenty of thoughts. We'll be back with our next mod category. Always the popular category because, well, most of us are thinking about the modern day. Modern tractors. We have a lot of modern tractors. It looks like we have an absolutely slamming ton of these modern tractors, but it's not quite as many as you might think. Back in episode 4, we had the Class Xeron 3800, this big boy saddle track. Take a look at that one. In episode 10, we had the Class Arion 620. And we also, in that same episode, had the JCB Fast Track 8310. In episode 16, we had the Massey Ferguson 6480, which was a nice tractor. In episode 17, and this is where the number of tractors kind of skunks you. So in episode 17, we had the Genesis pack, which included this guy, the Bucher Versatile. It included the Fiat Agri. It included several Ford/New Hollands and a Landini. It's not all included. It also included this New Holland over here. So it includes several tractors. Episode 18 had the John Deere 6150R. In episode 27, we had the Fendt Vario 930. And we had the Fendt Vario 939BL, which wants to be different than everybody else and face backwards. Jerk. Episode 42, we had the Massey Ferguson Advanced 29 series, which had these three tractors. And we also had the CBT 8440 4x2. So when you think about it, not quite as many tractors as you might think. In fact, if we were to remove the doubles, we'd get a lot less tractors. Let's do that really quick. All right, so now our tractors are actually contained within a single shot. Look at that. So we have the Xeron, the Claas, Arion, JCB, Massey Ferguson, the Genesis pack. the John Deere, the 2 Fendt, and a Massey Ferguson pack, and then that CBT who wants to hide over there. Let's start with dishonorable. There isn't any. None of these were so bad that they were dishonorable. They all actually performed at some level that was high enough to merit at least a mention. We'll start with the CBT over here. CBT gets a mention. It's a decent looking kit. It's got some good modeling in it, especially in that engine bay. The 3-point works, though it is clipped into the bodywork, which is always annoying. It's just when you get into it and you start driving it around and looking at it, you're just like, well, there's better out there. That's really what makes it a mention. There's better out there. So we'll give a mention to the CBT 8440. We're also going to give a mention to the biggest tractor here, which is the Class Xeron. It's a decent enough tractor. I don't really have a lot of problems with it. It's just, well, there are better ones out there. And we've seen better ones. So because of that, it's just going to get a mention. Nothing super wrong with it, just nothing super right with it. The Claas Ariane 620 is also going to get a mention, and it's going to get a mention because of that horrendous clicking noise every time it tries to shift. Want it? Yeah. After a while, that will drive you absolutely insane. I really wanted you to turn off. There we go. That clicking noise will drive you insane. It might be realistic, but let's be realistic. It's still annoying. If you can deal with that, sure. But to me, it's just a mention for that reason, primarily. There's nothing super wrong with the Massey Ferguson 6480, but there was nothing super right either. It had a few problems with modeling, and it lacked any sort of interior in terms of IC, but there's nothing super bad about it. I would just give it a mention. Doesn't really move me. The John Deere, well, the John Deere had a few problems. One, the attacher control key problem up there. You see it. Two, I hate it when you have a detached arm because it becomes a distraction. The IC is also, we're fairly limited. We have front linkage. We can open the bonnet. We can open our door. Go. Oop. There we go. Come on. There. You see my arm was actually in the way of seeing that button. Where is it? There it is. Alright, so it's not terrible. There's a lot that's right with it. The arm annoys me. And it's unfair, but I'm going to do it anyway. When you compare it to the other John Deeres that we've looked at before, it's really sad. I mean, we've looked at some really nice pieces of equipment that are John Deere. This one struggles up against them. If they got rid of the arm, I'd probably make this an honorable mention, but that arm, it just bothers me too much. So I'm going to give it a mention. Oh, what the heck. I'll give it an honorable mention. Yeah, it'll get an honorable. I changed my mind on a whim. Yay. The Fendt Vario 939. So there's nothing super great or super bad about this one. The interior is static. It looks like it's just a bitmap. It doesn't move me. It doesn't make me think that this is a super piece of equipment. But at the same time, it is a super piece of equipment. It's a large tractor capable of pulling just about anything you can think of. For that, I give it a mention. It works. It's not super. Doesn't move me. Honorable mentions. We have the Massey Ferguson pack. I like the Massey Ferguson pack. The detail of a lot of the areas really added to it. The thing that detracted to it, stuff like that. And the fact that it looks like it's a front loader. It looks like it has all the attachments, but then it behaves like it's not a front loader and won't attach to anything except for a Lamborghini attachment. Which doesn't make any sense. Interior-wise, it's fine. It's got the detached arm. I hate the detached arm. But it's not a terrible piece of equipment. So I'll give it an honorable mention. The other thing that gets an honorable mention, well, the entire Genesis pack. And part of the reason it gets an honorable mention, everything is identical with the Genesis pack. Makes sense, right? They're identical. But it's got all these extra things. Engine start, work light, dual wheels, left door, right door, back window, etc. Has auto steer built into it, and it gives you such a huge selection. Okay, you don't like a Boohor, well then go get something else. It's still within the same pack. They're all relatively decently priced. They all look good, they all act well. So it's a good solid pack, so I'm going to give it an honorable mention. Also, I'm going to give an honorable mention to the JCB Fast Track. I use this thing heavily in my... Oops, wrong tractor. In my Let's Play. And I really did like it. There's a few things I didn't like about it. Some of it is just... Well, it didn't make an award because the tractor that took the award really deserves the award. But this thing, the fact that you can see the steering knuckles work beautifully. The front attachment is really nice. I mean, overall, this is a beautifully done tractor. I know the mod author. He's actually contacted me. He has a version that will get dirty, which is even better. And he, you know, in theory, has been continuing to modify this. Though I do know JCB is being a little bit of a snot. The company is being a snot about people modeling their tractors. So he might have stopped, for all I know. All right. The award is going to go to this Fendt. Why is it going to go to this Fendt? Well, this Fendt is really well done. Oh, look, it's got a little coyote. This Fendt is really well done. The knuckles are in there. It looks really nice. Overall, a really nice looking tractor. But what I love about it, personally, is so often I get in a position where I need to back something in. If I'm in the cab backing in, okay, I got to look behind me, but I'm constantly looking around. Well, if I hit numpad 8, everything reverses for me. Much like you can get in the better version of the class Xeron. Now, forward is backwards, backwards is forwards. But this is really a neat little bit of kit. And the fact that it's so well done. We can even open our little window so we can look outside while we're doing this. I mean, that's pretty slick. And I like the detail that went into doing this. Other things that can be improved? Oh yes, most definitely. Amongst them, I would love to see the dashboard work, and I would love to have an IC so I can play around with stuff. But for a tractor, that's a really nice thing to be able to flip your seat around like that. I really like that. So I'm going to give an award because it's something that you don't see very often in this other equipment. Something new, something neat. So there you go, an award for the Fendt Vario 930. Honorable mention for the Massey Ferguson Advanced 29 series. An honorable mention for the JCB Fast Track. Honorable mention for the Genesis pack. Honorable mention for the John Deere. Mention for the class Xeron. Mention for the class Arion. Mention for the Massey Ferguson 6480. And mention for the Fendt Vario 939 and the CBT 8440. Ooh, it's always tough to handle the modern tractors. Well, we've reached the end of our Season 5 Mod Spotlight Award Show. And I told you guys when we got to the end that I'd give you the mod of Farming Simulator 2013. This was actually harder than you might think. You might think, oh, I know exactly what it's going to be. But there's some great mods out there. There's a John Deere pack with those absolutely amazing, so well done tractors that you actually have to turn off the shuttle if you want it to reverse by pressing backwards. Those are beautiful tractors. They're so well done. I really like them. They're worthy of a mod of Farming Sim 2013. There's the, believe it or not, the GMC dump truck would probably rank in there because it actually has shift patterns in it, which is amazing. But it just doesn't quite fit as the creme de la creme, the top of the line. There's the Lexion Harvesters, the 770. The Lexion 770. That's a phenomenal harvester. It still is a phenomenal harvester. It's an amazing piece of equipment. Very well done as well. But it's missing a few things. I mean, it's expensive, for one. Same with the John Deeres. And when I kind of thought about it, and you guys are going to know exactly what this mod is, because it is inexpensive. I've used it on every single Let's Play I've done. And it gets you able to start early on doing all kinds of things that otherwise you're going to have to wait for. And that is none other than the Kid. Yes, the Kid Forage Harvester. This thing is the Mod of Farming Simulator 2013. Amazing. It's inexpensive. You can immediately, from the beginning of the game, start working sheep at 100%. You can start prepping your cows. You can go do silage. I mean, it takes a long time to fill up silage with this thing, but you can do it. You can cut grass, so you can actually use it for the grass missions, because it does do that. It cuts the grass. And you can pull it with something as small as the Kramer back there. It'll work with the small tractors. As long as the tractor has a PTO, it'll work. Doesn't need a 3-point, doesn't need anything fancy. It's very simple, it's elegant, and it works wonderfully. Early on, when you can't bale hay, this is how you chop your straw, turn it into silage, and you can sell it. This is capable of functioning across a wide spectrum of the farming activities you need to do for a very cheap price. So the Kid Forage Harvester by NI Modding, this is the Mod of Farming Simulator 2013 in my mind. Maybe not yours. Feel free to let me know what your Mod of Farming Simulator 2013 is. I hope you've enjoyed the Farming Simulator 2013 mods. I will continue to look for mods, and when I see absolutely amazing, awesome ones, I will spotlight them, but it will not be a regular feature on the channel any longer. We're prepping for Farm Sim 15, everybody. There is a link in the description to the Google Doc that has all the links to all of the mods from Season 5. I've also put links for Seasons 1 through 4 down there as well, so you can get to all of the mods that I have done through all 5 seasons. All right. Until next time, everybody, happy farming.